No, should I put you on?
It should be glad it's shown to you.
Okay.
She's real proud of them. These two grow together. They're webbed.
You think that's what counts for her art?
No. Actually,
Her
she's the only performance artist. Her and Herman Nietzsche are the only performance artists I've ever liked, because the worst thing about performance art and all of these static things where they make piles of lumber and installations in a gallery where you have to walk through.
Yeah.
They have to justify the stuff, and justification is the totally opposite point of art. You know, interpretation
Yeah, I
maybe,
agree with
but
that.
justification, like all these people, like who's another guy? Somebody I really like, but he ruins it by justification, and he only does it, I'm sure, for documents to sell. Christo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Valley Curtain and the Running Fence.
Yeah. My friends like him.
The guy like documents everything. His books are great because like they've got every document from renting the land from the farmers, and a whole page that's a piece of the material
that's all what
out
it's
of
about.
out of the thing.
Yeah.
And he
That's all what it's
explains the whole thing. But other people like write down miles and miles. Well, I did this because it makes me feel like life being born, and
That's
you know,
bullshit.
I put my heart and soul into it, and well, it's like the turbulence of society between the middle class and the one notch lower middle class, and conflict, and how people have to go off to war and die and stuff like that. And the interpretation ruins the whole final piece.
Johanna Went stuff.
It's
is
like
so
saving
good
a
that
ticket
she
from a
does-
concert.
she does
I mean,
it so
you know,
fast. She doesn't even care about it. Just stay.
the ticket means nothing, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just the justification that yes, I was there. I saw it. I was there. So the justification really, and all these performance artists, like they do this thing that's real abstract, and they go through these motions, and then they say, well, this piece is about this symbolizes man's struggle with society when he's impotent and midlife crisis and all this stuff, and it ruins the whole idea, all this justification.
I always thought they did it because the stuff was actually bad and they were trying to.
I think it is. I think
Yeah.
whenever they have to justify
Because
it.
if it's rich, it's rich.
They
I
don't
mean,
need
you
to
know.
say anything about it.
I mean, how could Johanna Went justify what she does?
I don't know. I mean, even
she wouldn't talk
when
about
you
it.
talk about it, you know,
When she
it's
talks,
like less
when
than
she
what
talks,
it is.
she's just her normal self, and you can never imagine this sweet little girl with this tiny little picture face doing what she does. It's impossible.
You know what someone told me last night? They said that before she kept stripping last night and going back to her own thing. And they said before they saw her, she would go from like costume to costume. But the most strange thing was having her take that costume off in between. That's what they had
and
told
be
me.
her normal self.
It
Yeah.
was very odd, yeah, because first of all, it was hysterical.
And
it's
especially when
common
she
on
goes
women,
up to the
but, you know,
microphone and starts uttering these.
because it was like.
And she's saying things. She's like stream of consciousness, saying things the whole time, and part of the time it's her, and she looks so vulnerable. This little girl up there.
Yeah. Well, also,
And then
it's
she
like
puts
she's
these-
showing you
she
these things
assumes
out of
these
herself. It's
characters,
like,
you know.
whoa, you know what to do, and very strange. I was real upset. I was gonna cry at the end.
Really?
Yeah, because it was terrible. All the stuff she was telling me was
I
terrible.
cannot understand her.
Her stuff.
You should hear her
She
record.
says, anyway.
For a long time, I wanted her to make a lot of the things. She makes total sense if you can hear her, and if
I
you can't,
wondered,
it makes
yeah.
even better sense when you can only hear part of it, and then it lapses into nonsense and like she's going into speaking tongues or a foreign language or something. Then it comes back again. It makes total sense, like the glimpses that you get. We used to do this trick when we were walking down the street, and people would be passing us this way, and we'd drop a piece of conversation to get a reaction from the passerby. Because you know people are always over listening, and you're always walking by and getting a.
So all you gotta
three
do
or
is
four-
put a hook.
So
Yeah.
we were going, and the next thing I know, I was covered in blood, and everybody's going, like, they want to hear the rest of the story, and like that was the punchline.
I'm
and
gonna
there's-
try
they
that.
Like, they like go, and then maybe they'll start listening a little bit, you know, and wondering what was said, and then you're talking about some kind of nonsense that doesn't make any difference.
You know, I really like.